Brodes Media.
59. 59. 59, 11, 8, and 7 on a second half of a back-to-back when he made a statement about his arm, and sometimes when he goes up to block shots, it feels pain, other times it doesn't. I mean, this is what he's stating after he dropped 42 Saturday night against the Atlanta Hawks. He's talking about his physical pain. He's talking about his physical ailments. And then he goes out and dominates the Utah Jazz, scoring 26th in the fourth and just mixing in a handful of blocks when it was tied 86-86 with about 9 minutes to go. And he gets the block on the defensive end, runs up the floor, and hits a nice mid-range Jimmy as he's fading a bit to his side. That was absurd. My man was in his bag, and damn it, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. That was actually entertaining. Let's be honest. Through 14 games, this team is 7-7, and they have not been very fun. It has not been beautiful. We're watching a lot of misery. We're watching guys miss shots. You go back to, what was that, Thursday night when they played against the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta? I forget which day of the week that was, but it was brutal. George Niang goes 1 for 7 from 3. Guys like DeAnthony Melton ended up going 2 for 7 from the field. I have the stats right here. PJ Tucker had 3 points in 24 minutes. He made 1 field goal. Tobias Harris was missing layups left and right. Thibel's offense in his 8 minutes was putrid. Maxey couldn't buy a damn shot. They shot 6 for 30 from 3, which was 20% from behind the arc. They had 17 turnovers, 15 assists. They had more turnovers than they did assists with these baskets. That's how bad it was. But over the weekend, it was all the big man. It was your MVP carrying you. And don't forget that when Jokic is playing, the Denver Nuggets have to rip him off the floor because he is such an embarrassment defensively that they can't even trust their MVP late in the game. Our guy was completely taking over. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like that on both sides of the floor. The Utah Jazz were so shook they couldn't even believe it. You could tell by the way that they were trying to pass the basketball out by the perimeter. They were leaving their feet and kicking it out. They were afraid. And at one point, they're driving the lane and they're trying to go to the basket when there's a wide open corner shot. Now, I don't remember exactly who it was, so, maybe that played a role. But to me, when I know Embiid is feasting and I know Embiid is meeting me at the rim basically every single possession at this point, in what world do you think you have the testicles to do it again? You'd be a fool. You'd be dumb. And look what happened. The Utah Jazz were just stupid in that moment because Joel Embiid said, "I'm here for you." I mean, that was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Believe it or not, I thoroughly enjoyed watching 76ers basketball. And I'm hoping that what we saw this weekend can help push them in the right direction. They're off until Friday when the Milwaukee Bucks come to town. Embiid is looking like Embiid again. I know. Everybody hated the way he looked to start the season. Without factoring in, he had how many surgeries? Without factoring in, he had to get comfortable again. Well, something looks different, huh? Like he's just playing more basketball and finding his groove. I don't know. Maybe you should have listened when I said, relax, Embiid will be just fine. I'm not thrilled with everything. Okay, I'm not trying to somehow put makeup on a pig and tell you that this is just great now because, well, Tobias Harris wasn't very good. PJ Tucker gave you 0 points in 30 minutes. Matisse Thybulle's defense was definitely noticeable, but I don't love Matisse Thybulle in my starting rotation. He made up for a lot of your flaws, but welcome to the NBA when superstars can carry you. When guys say, give me the damn basketball and follow my lead. Watch what I can do. You want to see a dominant big man? I'll show you a dominant big man. Hitting his jimmies. Going 20 of 24 from the charity stripe. No one ever really gives him the acknowledgement there at the line. He was so damn close to getting 60. And think about how many turnovers was happening in the beginning. I believe he finished the first half with 5 turnovers or so. So there was some unsettling passes. But he was still putting up his numbers. But, you know, there's been some nights where you go back to the turnover numbers for Joel Embiid, and you would like that to be better. I just touched on that first game against Atlanta in Atlanta. We know that was highlighted and something that needed to change. And then look at the difference. Look at that fourth quarter. He basically scored every single damn point. That's how lethal he was. Every trip down the floor. He gets right into his spot. He puts his right hand out. He gets the basketball. And then he does his thing, man. I mean, it's hard to understand. It's hard to talk about it, right? Here we are, kind of mind blown. Trying to replay it. Trying to process what the hell he just did. Imagine being the one doing it.